entire race, and I absolutely am underrepresented, but it's okay. You know, you should have dressed in red, now that I think of it.
Maybe I should.
You should have.
But red shirt on camera looks awful.
Oh, man.
Is someone injured?
Red shirt guy.
I would die instantly.
And the North Star Cleric here for Kolento. Like, Lifecoach has to have the answer. This is the only way a priest wins in this matchup, is when he does get a good amount of card draw.
I guess so, but still, it's not easy to do.
No, but it's the only way I've ever seen somebody win. It's not amazing, mind you, but...
Now kind of lack turn 3. You want to keep the coin or just play the Alchemy?
Light of the Naru phase, heal phase.
I guess you clean out the Alchemy.
Yeah, might as well. Kolento does that a lot. It's a very good pressure play. A very strong pressure play. Which is, I think, a mistake a lot of people make, to just keep it for when they get the combo. He can be played as a 3-5 or 4.
Yeah. Well, because there's some issues with the spectator mode, but we see now the other hand. So we get, I guess we know that there's a giant 10-4.
I'm pretty sure that's going to be slammed on the board, and Kolento didn't have Shadow or Death.
No, he didn't.
So, really big issue there. Handling this is going to come down to Akanai doing a lot of work.
Alchemy, well, even there will be Alchemy next turn, that's not enough damage. Well, there's Light of Naru.
Yeah, Light of the Naru is going to be 3 plus...
Wow.
In the light's name.
I told you. Light of the Naru heal phase.
Okay. I was actually thinking you're...
You thought I was trolling?
Yeah.
I don't
was
blame
thinking
you.
you're
I don't blame
trolling.
you. No, it's actually a legit play against Handlock.
Okay.
Lothar was like, wait, what?
Lifecoach is also like this. Like, wait, what?
No, I do like it.
To be honest, I would really love to see the autoplay, which is
Akanai with light.
Alchemy
Yeah.
with coin, and then next turn you have Light of Naru to deal 3 damage, so you deal 5 with your hero power, so you can trade the Alchemy into the giant.
Into the giant, yeah, and just finish it off, and you
Yeah.
still get the 1-2.
Yeah. Because now you have no option to heal, right? Your hero is at full.
Yeah, it comes down to perfect wild pyro, but it's just gonna be heal phase, punch phase. That's what I like about Light Warden. He could attack into the giant and set up a better Akanai later.
I guess so. Now we have double handlock hand.
Yeah. We're back to 25 health.
Back to 25.
Back to 25 after all has been done.
I guess a proper play here is maybe Hellfire?
Yeah,
What
the only
about
drawback
that?
with that is you're putting your guy into Akanai's circle range.
Yeah, you do. That's true.
That's the only issue with that play. But
So what about Ancient
to Watcher, Sun Fury, and kill the 1-5?
Yeah.
Or go face. Well, I go 1-5, but pick your...
I think you don't want to miss 8 damage.
Can you? Does it matter against Priest?
I think it matters.
Okay.
Like you put him on the clock with that kind of play.
All right.
I guess the spectator kind of bugs. So we have to wait for...
Mountain Giant to move.
There's a huge mountain giant, man.
But it does kill the Northshire Cleric. And he's gonna go for the Watcher taunt. Probably just the Watcher alone.
Watcher, taunt, yeah.
Yeah, as expected. And we see a Hearthstone cursor in the middle. Am I hallucinating this?
No, you're seeing that right.
Okay.
I see it too.
Well, there's a big Watcher on the screen.
Oh, thank you. It's like an annoying fly, you know?
Yeah.
It's like sit
you
there
can't
and
do
it does
anything.
nothing and you're like, what the hell?
What's wrong with you, Fly? Right, now Kolento. Not loving the Ancient Watcher.
Well, at least he can trade 1 for 1. But there's the looming mountain giant.
Yeah. He needs
From
to
far,
have
far
Shadow Word
away.
Death. Like, we don't know what he drew in the meantime, but maybe he does have the death now.
Remember the times where Mountain Giants were 12-12?
I remember the time where, what was it? The Drakes were +1/+1. All right, so we're being told that with the hand for Kolento will be unseeable for the time being. Spectator mode is glitching, so for the time being we'll just be casting from Lifecoach's perspective.
Too bad. It's really
Yeah,
too
a
bad.
little
but it
unfortunate.
can
Oh,
happen.
Shrinkmeister.
Is it
Shadow Word
early
Pain?
that turn? Wait, what?
No, what the hell? Shadow Madness. Well played, but
Can
it
he
can't
heal?
attack.
That kind of, yeah, that's that.
It can't attack, mate.
Okay, so I guess there will be Holy Nova next turn.
Oh wow, it's Kolento. What? What has happened?
I think that he has Holy Nova in his hand, if I remember correctly.
Bro, it has to be that. And Lifecoach is just like, okay, something happened, but I'm not sure what.
And now, Lifecoach can go with Defender of August to be out of range of Holy Nova.
But there's Akinite Circle at least, so that
Yeah,
will take
well,
care of
that's-
everything.
That's that, but still.
Yeah, no, like from our perspective, it almost looks as though Kolento thought he could attack with the Watcher and trade into the Giant.
Well, Lifecoach has to know that this telegraphs a Holy Nova, right?
Yeah, I think it does.
My shield for our
But it's still going to be fine for Kolento. He's very happy what was about to happen here. It's the perfect board clear. It
But
was
then
into
it's Mortal
but,
Coil
yeah.
into Alchemy.
But still, it's a pretty good board wipe.
It is, that's true.
It's pretty hard already to get board wipes against.
I don't think Lifecoach is really mad about that. It's like,
Nah.
that's ought to happen at some point of
Yeah.
the game.
And his hand is way too big for this to matter very much.
Yeah. So Mortal Coil first, I would say.
Yeah,
Maybe
start
you will
with
get
that.
the second giant.
No, that would be a sick draw.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Look at that, who appeared.
Wow, skill stone.
I guess you drop it, right? There was no answer to the
Yeah,
first one.
the first one took forever to be answered, and he will curve
Wow.
into Ragnaros.
The Ragnar's next turn will be just disastrous. By the way, I really love the sound of the giants, of the mountain giants and Fell Reavers. It's like the most
Yeah, the
intense
most.
sound.
Yeah, you can tell they're 8/8s. Now, by the
Yeah.
way, I'd like to point out the mountain giant just got mountained, but Ragnaros is
Mounted.
Probably not. But let's say it did.
Well, now Ragnar's should have a free kind of way to, appear on the board. There
I mean,
shouldn't
I
be
don't
a-
think there's going to be an answer from Kolento right now, unless Sylvanas comes out, which we've seen him play earlier. So like, it's pretty standard in every priest deck.
Yeah. And there's no owl for that. But you can play like a Healbot? No, you don't want to play Healbot. Oh
Wow, what a! If this is his turn, this is not
really
good.
weak. What about? No, you have one of 50-50 lethal with
Hellfire Dark
Hellfire
Bomb.
Dark Bomb. Yeah.
Ah, we found the hand from Kolento. It was hidden under the Kingwin image. I can't believe no one
really
pulled that
clever.
up.
Very
It's been
clever.
there all along, man.
Very
right?
clever.
Yeah, I knew everybody could pull it up. Yeah, Kolento's hand is devastatingly bad right now.
I think there's no way he can pull it off. So what about Sylvanas? It's one turn away from mind control, if you're worrying about that.
I think you can play it very, very slowly.
Why not tap first?
Yeah, I'm
6,
curious.
No, that's 10, never mind.
That would have been 10 cards, right?
No, 11, I mean.
Yeah, he would have overdrawn with a tap.
Yeah.
Well, when you see a Warlock Dark Bomb face on a priest,
Smoking.
there's something happening here.
Dr. Boom. That's quite something if there would be no AoE
Yeah.
in Lifecoach's hand.
Unfortunately, that's not the case.
Well, it can still kill the Ragnaros.
Yeah, of course. Well, actually, let me just not say no, because I've seen all sorts of things.
Look at that. If only the Hellfire would have cost 3. Emperor. Why you do that? Imagine. 10, 10.
Well, we saw that earlier with like BGH, Dr. Boom,
Yeah,
and what the other card was. I forget what it was. The Drake. Drake for
Drake.
2. It was just the craziest play. Emperor is like in slow matchups. It's just so obscene in handlock.
Wait, the far left, it's Hellfire, not Shadow Flame, right?
Yeah, it's Hellfire. I mean, you could kill him with a 50-50 unless Rag dies. You attack face with Belcher, you Hellfire, and you had a 50-50.
Yeah, I think you go for it.
Yeah.
You can play also...
Anything you want first. Like it's...
Yeah,
Oh, actually, that's a good idea.
that's a very good idea. I would say.
That's the best idea.
That's the best idea ever because now we can steal the 7/7
Yeah, and not
and
lose.
probably
Oh.
get a 100% lethal.
Well,
that's
that's 100%.
That's a 100% lethal. 8 damage to the face, Firebolt.
Lifecoach takes the first game. Kolento's Priest was not fit for this. I mean, it was pretty
Yeah.
obvious. We are going into it. We knew it was a bad matchup, but this just showed that even Kolento, unless like the dream happens, can't really beat the handlock very easily. It's with Priest, it's very difficult.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's almost unbeatable, I would say.
Yeah, it's one of those matchups where I guess the Light Bomb version has a much better matchup in general. The win rate is much higher because Light Bomb takes care of the giants right away. Just like it can kill 2 giants at once, finish off some minions on the board,
Like
and typically,
Misdirection.
as a priest, like Misdirection, yeah, exactly. The old Misdirection, that's Light Bomb now. They renamed it. And there's one thing I wish I'd seen more of with Priest since BRM is that Resurrect.
Yeah.
I haven't
agree with that.
seen any competitive deck play with Resurrect yet.
I feel it just doesn't fit the current priest that is being played. Like, there's no incentive of resurrecting random minion because most of those minions have to be played from your hand to achieve some kind of combination.
So you have to play them as a combo, and then you can't say, "Oh, I'd like to get a Wild Pyro now."
I would like to get a Cabal Shadow Priest from the graveyard. I was like, you.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of the minions don't do anything.
Yeah.
Maybe when priests get, I think what priest needs right now is a 2-drop, like a really good 2-drop to fill
Yeah,
the serve.
Shrinkmeister, what they're talking about.
It's not. It's
Yeah, I know.
It's like Shadow Boxer is almost better than Shrinkmeister for that.
It's actually a
where-
good card.
I know. And it's the thing. It's like it's good, but it doesn't. It's not good enough, right? It's like there's a bit missing from it to make it past the test for priests at this point, which is a bit unfortunate. I mean, the priests are relegated to being a very reactive class. As a result, they're always very, very reactive.
But
Maybe.
the game, the meta game changes so fast that I'll be not surprised if, like, in next few weeks, maybe with the next expansion latest, we'll see priests being on the top of the food chain.
Right.
Because I still remember the time when Hunter was the worst class.
I do.
Ever.
Everybody agreed.
Yeah, and then there was like a Wikipedia report or something like that, and it said, well, maybe sometime there will be a time when Hunter will not be blessed.
Yeah, the worst class. And then for the following year and a half, I will hunt you down.
Yeah,
and you couldn't live with it.
like, and there were no changes in the cards
Yeah.
back then. It only the old style combo beast appeared.
The people started playing. I remember Forsen back in the simulator that we used to play on Cockatrice was the one player who played Beast Hunter with the combo. He was like the first player I remember playing that. I don't know if anybody else would, but
I wasn't aware that Forsen was playing on Cockatrice.
yeah, if I remember, he did.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have to
that's
ask
the
him that.
first interaction I had of him back then from as Forsen SC2. That being said, the next game is going to be Druid versus Warrior. Kolento is going to be playing as Druid versus Lifecoach as Warrior. Again, something I would have said a while back is Druid wins this, but Grim Patron changes things a bit.
Yep. If there would be an insane Grim Pattern until, let's say, 5,
Yep.
then it might be turned around. But from what we have seen so far, is the fact that the Lifecoach is not playing Inner Rages.
Right, he's playing 2 unstable ghouls, I think, and either instead or just no Inner Rages. There have been a lot of variants, of Grim Patron around. It's not yet the deck that's been heavily refined. It still has about Like usually when a deck is refined, you have about 3 to 4 spots that you can swap.
Yeah.
Grim Patron has like 7, where everybody just moves out cards at whim because they feel like it, and it doesn't feel like it's refined yet.
Some versions even don't play Boom, don't play Gromesh.
Yeah, and some just play all the legendaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some I saw some playing Pyromancer's Commanding Shout, an example.
While Pyromancer is an interesting tech, it's just I feel like it's weird to play in a deck like this because you
It's
can't
like
heal it up, right?
oversaturated.
Yeah, you're trying to go too far in the
Yeah,
combo
yeah.
at that point.
That's true. It might kind of help against aggro decks like Zoo, because if you play, let's say, Pyromancer into Commanding Shout into Inner Rage Whirlwind.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's like
you wipe the
board
board,
wipe.
guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even if you don't get anything else out of it, at least.
And you still have the Pyromancer on board.
Yeah, 3-1, and it's
Yeah.
another threat that they have
True,
to handle.
True.
All right, getting to the game at the moment, we see Lifecoach's Grim Patron Warrior versus Kolento's Druid, who has no wild growth.
Yeah.
Same reaction. Whenever you and I are casting Druid, it seems like we're looking for
Oh,
the...
look at that! Magically appeared.
Oh, well, that's a card.
I guess you do it onto 1.
Yeah, without a 4-drop, I think usually you do it every time when you have a 5-drop, but with no 4 or 5, you don't.
Okay.
That's my rule of thumb. If I have 4 or 5, then I do it.
Savage Roar, okay, so you got the combo too.
So basically what you're saying is this is just a matter of time.
It's a clock ticking.
Yeah.
And you have to drop the Floating Berserker in this situation. There's
Yeah, and I
there's no
like
other
it.
option.
I think it's a really good time to play it because you're playing Gnomish afterwards, and both together are a bit of a pain to deal with.
Turn 5, you have Azure Drake. Then you have Ancient of Law. It's really neat. Now you card draw.
Yeah, Kolento's got all the card draw in the world right now.
The problem is, if you play Gnomish Inventor, it's really weak to swipe.
Yeah, but at least the shade dies, right? And it takes
No,
up
no,
the
it
entire
doesn't.
turn.
No, it doesn't.
Well, it has to trade and goes down to 1. And then
You
full
swipe the
task,
Floating Berserker and you trade for the Gnomish Inventor, it's 3-1.
Yeah, you have to cruel task. Well, I guess you have to cruel task for it to die, but
But there's no swipe. So I guess this turn is Sylvanas or Azure Drake. I guess
which one do you
Sylvanas is not
prefer?
bad.
Yeah, I think Sylvanas is really, really painful to handle because you don't want to give away that frothing at all.
Yep.
But trading it away also feels excruciating. It's a good thing that Lifecoach picked up the Emperor yet for so soon because he's got the War Song, he's got the Patrons, he's got the Cruel Tasks. They're gonna go down to 1.
So that's 6 for 8 mana. You go double crew task.
Yeah, this
with
is
charge.
if he gets this done, this could be just a crazy turn.
So you trade for the Sylvanas here. You go with the
Yeah,
Gnomish first,
double
then you
trade.
sacrifice the Floating Berserker, right?
I think so.
And then
Is
you
there
turn-
ever an argument to just punch face really hard? Like you cruel task once on your frothing and go
no,
face
you
with
can't.
everything.
You I feel like you have to. Yeah, you have to sacrifice the board for the Sylvanas, I think.
But if you trade Gnomish and go face for 4, does that accomplish anything? Probably not.
Probably
You're
not.
still weak to Wrath Swipe. Same problems you had earlier.
The problem is your turn 5 sucks.
Yeah.
You have nothing.
You have no
You have
follow.
nothing. Literally nothing. Unless you want to play the Taskmaster on the board, and that's it.
Is he going for it? No, he's gonna trade.
Yeah.
And the armor up play. Sylvanas forcing Lifecoach to slow down even further. Who would have thought?
And now there will be an Azure Drake, right? Never mind.
Yeah, change of plans, ladies and gents. This could be a very quick game.
Yeah, this ends next turn. This ends next turn. There's no way to kill the board, and that deals 14, 19, 21,
It's almost gonna be lethal, but not quite.
25, 26, 28 damage.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little off, but
So
not
it's-
enough for it to matter.
It's not enough for lethal next turn, but it's almost that.
Emperor strikes again. I mean, Wild Growth strikes again.
Wild Growth, and Emperor.
And Emperor Strike again. Okay.
And Sylvanas. With coin.
Let's make it a team.
What team?
Team Ramp.
Oh, wow.
And Lifecoach is gonna try. But Kolento doesn't have lethal, right?
No, it's
He's
too off.
too off, so
Too off.
could that change anything to the matter at hand? I don't think it does. I think you still just punch face really hard.
I think you go with everything and sacrifice the Emperor after that. Or
your shade. I think I'd
It's-
sacrifice the shade, yeah.
It's like almost no difference.
Except you get 5 coins.
Yeah, okay, maybe that's a bit
Yeah, I think the
difference.
5 coins are worth the keep.
4 coins. Then cheap.
Right, because you played 2 cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you go for it. Like, why are you even worrying about anything? You have.
I'm trying to figure out what he's worried about ever, but I can't quite come up with the answer.
Well, you lose 7 damage if you trade. What? You didn't do it? Why, bro?
I am legitimately confused.
Yeah, I didn't see that happening. Like at
Me
all.
neither, not in 1,000 years.
What if Lifecoach would have the most insane?
Yeah,
combos
with double
right now?
execute and every board wipe
Yeah.
in the world. That
like
would have been
still
game
viable.
right there, but like he doesn't have it. Fortunately for Kolento.
Imagine one inner rage here.
Yeah, Inner Rage is funny enough. Inner Rage would win the game in this hand. Like it would
Maybe
actually
not
allow
win
him
the
to
game.
wipe the
It's-
board.
He will be not out of the woods yet, but
Yeah, but he'd be able to at least stabilize. Where right now
Yeah.
it's not possible.
he can kill 2 creatures.
Yeah, and get actually you can kill 3 with the Whirlwind, right? Oh no, Cruel Task 5. Yeah, I can kill 2 and then get another patron, but he's not gonna be able to kill more than that.
Yeah.
Execute would have been needed and even less mana.
So
Oh,
he
wow.
needs to go for that. That sucks.
He's trying to find the Execute, is my guess.
Yeah.
He knows he's dead with Emperor staying on the board.
So he's trying to dig for both executes.
Yeah, that is not it. Although Whirlwind and Battle Rage,
So now he goes for 1 execute.
yeah. He didn't find it?
I have no idea.
Apparently not.
I don't think he has enough time to do that.
Yeah, he's dead anyway. I think he knew it. After 2 turns of Emperor and Druid, I think everybody is aware that they're dead. That's usually the way I go about it. If it lives 1 turn, I'm probably
Yeah,
dead.
true.
If it lives 2 turns, I'm dead.
4 mana for Force of Nature and 1 mana for Savage Roar? Yeah, sure.
Probably in a very early phase of Alpha, this was how the game was designed. At some point in the past.
Good that I didn't play it.
Well, I remember Force of Nature used to be 5, so that was
Yeah,
already bad
yeah,
enough. But
yeah.
then they actually changed it when they realized how obscene it was. So Kolento's gonna take the win against Lifecoach.
The Emperor, man. 10-6 from the
Crazy.
top of the deck, Emperor. It looked insanely good for Lifecoach.
Yeah.
And then just...
And one Emperor gets played on the
Snap.
board, and everything just snowballs out of control. So he's going to equalize the series 1-1. Both players are still in this. No questions asked. Lifecoach will replay his Warrior in the future if Kolento plays another deck. Now Druid is locked out. Again, Kolento has to win with Priest at some point, and he's not going to do that against Grim Patron.
I guess not.
And I think the lineup from Lifecoach is perfect against Priest. He's got his Druid that also wins pretty well. He's got a Mage deck that can do okay if it snowballs.
Well, it's Mech Mage, so it's not so great.
It's not great, but it can do. I think it's weak against Kolento's specific Priest. But 3 out of the 4 decks from Lifecoach were countering Priest, so he just has to make sure he doesn't queue up Mech Mage into it by accident. I guess when you blind pick effectively at a stage like this in a best of 7. So if that does happen, it could be a bit of a problem.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. Like we know that Kolento will be picking Warlock right now, so
Yeah.
it means we'll see some demon action.
He's
right
playing
here.
mid-range, I think. It's not a handlock as
He
I
has
initially
Sylvanas
expected.
in his deck and
Yep.
2 Void Terrors.
Yeah, Void Terror was the first mid-range Warlock deck that I saw when GVG came out. Was from Kolento with a Floating Watcher, 2 Void Terrors. It was like one of the very early versions before it got refined. And then Warlock went all over the place. It was like handlock, mid-range handlock, demon handlock, demons.
Yeah.
Like it just became 25 different archetypes.
I really like the handlock with void colors.
Void colors, yeah. It's,
that was really greedy, and in some environments you could have played that because the rules allowed to be more greedy.
Yeah.
Like an example, Seed Story Cup. You had the system with ban, like Conquest with ban.
you could take something out that you
so
knew
you
was
just
bad for
ban
you.
Hunter and you go with a really greedy handlock.
Yeah.
Like really greedy.
And I think it's nice to be able to adapt to the environments, the meta games that you're going to be playing in. So next up is going to be Warlock versus Mage. So Mech Mage versus the Warlock from Kolento. I think Warlock is usually favored there. I don't think that changed since
I don't think that
early
changed
GVG.
at all. Yeah. The Warlock might have a really upper hand. Big upper hand.
A big one, in
Yeah.
fact. I think it's really hard for the Mage to contest. If the Mage gets the snowball early, then it's just a matter of getting fireballs.
Yep.
But aside from that, if they don't get the lead, because they usually both contest the board equally early, and the power overwhelming on eggs is a big deal.
And the eggs are kinda a great answer to Blast Mages.
Blast Mage, yeah.
Imp Gang Boss, the same. And then we have Hunted Creepers, which is also okay against everything that Mage plays. So it feels kinda bad for the Mage player.
It's always felt bad since GVG came out. But it might. I don't know if things will change for that matchup. I mean, I'm looking at Mage, and they already have like Freeze Mage as a really dominant archetype against Zoo. They're really doing amazingly. But the moment you switch to something like a Tempo Mage, and you accelerate it to Mech Mage, and then you go full on aggro, everything falls apart against Zoo. Like it's Freeze Mage or nothing. It feels like nothing else seems to stand in the way of them.
Yeah.
Besides Freeze. So at least they've got that. At least it's one thing.
Nice, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, we're jumping into the game 3. Red player wins. That will happen.
Yeah, I bet you it will. I'm sure it will. It's like when the Druids, like a Druid mirror match, who's gonna win? I think the Druid will.
Yeah. And by the way, I think that's the battle between the top teams in Hearthstone.
Cloud9 and Nihilo, right?
Yeah. What do we have here?
A great hand is what we have. Kolento with the amazing Haunted Creeper. Like his Void Terror is going to be so sick. He's done that every game so far.
Yep.
Every single game he's had the Nerubian Egg with Void Terror.
Yeah, 23, that's insane.
I mean a 3/5 with a 4/4. Count me in.
Like it feels that the Mech Mage is just a weaker Zoo.
It does. Yeah, I really feel that way. I'm still trying to come up with the reason why I'd play it over Zoo, and I still can't. It reminds me of...
that's maybe the only reason.
yeah. Was it Thais that said he didn't like mirror entities? Or is that someone else?
I think that was someone else.
Yeah.
So you go with the Neutron? Like Warper and Neutron?
Probably. I don't see a reason why not. Could you ever justify pinging a spider
No,
after? There's no way he does
no
that.
way
Like,
he
this is
can
such
do
a
that.
terrible play otherwise.
No. There's no way. You have to get more minions on board. It's like the only way you can win against Zoo.
And it's not even guaranteed.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even say anything.
You
like,
have to
about
get
your
Blast
winner.
Mages when he still lacks a creature that will benefit from the pings.
Which is almost never.
Yeah. Second Nerubian Egg. That's nice, but you go
so
with the
he's got to
Voiter.
figure out, yeah, I was going to say, like, what's the play here? Do you go for Juggler, Abusive, or do you go for the Void?
I think you go for the Void.
Okay.
4/4 minion against Mech Mage, I think that's fine.
No, it's definitely solid.
Possibilities.
10/4 for you will be most likely drop Voidcore and you threaten Melganis or Doomguard.
That would probably be... Like,
Like,
he
no
does
one
play
will
those.
trade for that. No
Yeah.
one will trade for
Yeah,
that.
no one goes in. Because it's too threatening.
Yeah.
If it goes wrong, you'll just lose right away.
And if you trade, you still trade, so you feel kind of bad.
Yeah. So you're not done. And he goes for the Void Terror, getting himself the 3/5 and the 4/4. That's gonna put Lifecoach on the ropes.
Second mech warper. Well, it's kind of
Ah,
fine,
that's a pretty good draw.
but he likes the mechs, and it's kind of...
The thing is, I'm curious to know, what do you play? Like Mech Warper Yeti, or do you ever go just Tinkertown? I think the Mech Warper Fireball. What about Fireball?
What to do?
I don't like Fireball very much.
Fireball for what? It's like...
You have to keep it for face against Zoo.
Yeah, if you
I-
kill the Ruben, it feels like you're fireballing a 2-drop.
Yeah, you're fireballing nothing. Now I think Mech Warper Mechanical Yeti full face is just...
When you think about it, like the combo of an Ruben egg into Void Terror, right?
Mm-hmm.
It feels like the minion that the 4/4 minion says he can't attack the first turn, the second turn.
Second turn it comes into play.
It is in game, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you spend 5 mana for 7, 12, 16.
Yeah, you
points
get
of
Ascension.
stats.
It's crazy what you get from this combo.
Yeah. It's like really insane.
And the fun part is, when you start playing Hearthstone for the first time, you see Void Terror, right? Your first reaction is, this is so awesome. I can do something with Void Terror, but it's just never played. At least not very much. So when you do see a deck like this that incorporates it, it does feel pretty cool. All right, the Juggler.
Why juggler?
Get some knives.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's how you play the game. You just knife everything.
To be honest, I didn't like the juggler. I would rather play the Void Core. Like, if you play Void Core in that board, that board,
you're guaranteed to get.
no, you're saying, I have a huge demon in my hand.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what you say. And then you can bluff your opponent.
Yeah, he's never gonna trade into it,
Yeah.
and then you get to do
no
whatever you
way
want.
he's gonna trade.
And now, this is going to be a good opportunity for Mirror Entity, is my guess.
You trade for the knife juggler, right? No, for the 4/2. Well, maybe.
I like the Juggler, because the 4/2 already dies to what's left.
So first you play Tinkertown Technician. You see
Yeah,
what
maybe you
part.
find something good.
If you find an example, let's say Freezing Coolant, Emergency Coolant, that would be cool.
Time Rewinder.
Not useful at all.
Yeah, not quite now, at least. Might come in handy. It's like the worst spare part for most situations. I guess Hunter's the only ones that are like,
No,
yeah.
against Freeze Mages. You kill that
Right.
Doomsayer.
And then, yeah. We're reversing switch, right?
Yeah,
Time Rewinder
Oh,
is just
Time
terrible.
Rewinder, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, Time Rewinder is the one where you play Archmage, then you return to your hand, and all you got for that 8 mana play was a Fireball.
Well, it kind of, works against, it works with low taps.
Yeah.
It works with, let's say, Tinkertown Technicians for additional parts.
Yeah, it does work sometimes. Can't say I've been overly impressed with it. Lifecoach was leading the board, and then Abusive Sergeant came up.
Piled Shredder. Well, you'd play that, kill the Abusive Sergeant, and go face with everything.
I think this is the point where Lifecoach has to go full face.
Yes.
This is where you have to turn on the aggressive gears, because you can't start playing defensively. You have no way to tap. Like, it's not like you can draw cards the way the Warlock can. So I guess there's a point, and this is probably the point, where sometimes, or somehow, Mech Mage feels like a War Zoo.
Yes.
This is like the perfect example. We've reached
you're-
that stalemate point where suddenly Zoo feels like it's just designed better.
Yeah, because of the life tap. It's like, okay, I guess I draw 2 cards at one turn.
Yeah, exactly. And the mage, I mean, they can compensate by having that phase burst with frost bolts and fireballs, but it's hard for them to get them and
Yeah.
not be under pressure. Lifecoach thinking about the Pilot Shredder ping play.
What about fireballing Neruben and pinging this one? I don't think that, I don't like that at all.
Yeah, I think you still do have to get the Shredder out. Like, minions are obviously, like, the reason as well that Zoo is better than Mech Mage is minions are more impactful than spells very often. Give me the choice between a 4-attack minion and a 4-damage spell. I'll put down the 4-attack minion most of the time.
There's the Doom Guard.
And that works with the Void Terror very well. You eat up that Snow Chugger, then you pop the Void Terror on the left. Get yourself a free Doom Guard to attack right now.
What did you say? So you trade first, right, for the
with Snow
minions?
Chugger, yeah, and then you eat up the Void Terror, the
Yeah.
Void Caller with the Void Terror.
That's kind of insane.
Yeah, that draw from Kolento was actually really sick, and he curves with Doctor Boom right afterwards.
Wow. This is just...
Yeah, this is not what you want to see if you're
Disgusting.
Life Coach right now. Oh man. All right, wait.
It's still a lot of damage.
Yeah, there is still quite a bit of damage left.
I didn't like the tap, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think it was necessary.
Yeah.
I really don't think that Kolento's tap was necessary
Like
in this position.
now he trades for the Party Shredder, right?
You could kill 4/4 and 2/1 if you wanted.
No, you have to kill the Party Shredder. That's the only mech he has.
Yeah, for Blast Mage.
Yeah.
It's so awful though, to play around Blast Mage here.
He
You
was
know there's
face?
2 spare parts, so like 1 card left.
No. Okay. That's really weird.
Felguard!
There's no way... there's no way Lifecoach will, like, not go face in this situation.
Yeah.
He has to play the spare part, and the Chugger, and ping face.
Every turn until he just gets the win. If
Yeah.
he can. Like, that's the only out he's got. Is Pink Face, over 2 turns he wins with Fireballs, I think. Whirling Blade, you might even go like Snow Chugger with the Whirling Blades on top.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's just like
Whirling
full
Blade
face
on Palter Shredder, and you go 5 to the face,
and pray.
and ping with Chugger. So if you top deck this Fireball, you win.
Yeah. It's the only way you're going to get this. Is by putting the opponent on Fireball Death.
Yep.
I mean, you could actually have like 2 turns because the board is so threatening. Kolento's trading everything away.
Yeah, but you get because Kolento tapped.
Yeah, you get a bit.
He's
of
giving you
extra.
the chance to win next turn.
Yeah. No, but that's the thing. Like he gets 2 draws. I think Lifecoach is gonna have next turn and possibly the next one before he's completely dead.
Is he really thinking about fireballing 6/5?
If he does that, I'll be very surprised.
Yeah.
Very surprised.
He's trading. What?
Well, I'm very surprised.
Yes, I'm also.
Count
very
me.
surprised.
I mean, I don't even know what to say. Now he has no draw versus a Warlock.
Yeah, I didn't
This
like
is
that
over.
at all.
Like this is over. This is just done.
I really didn't like that at all. Like even if he gets Antonidas, it doesn't do much.
There's always a possibility. I just don't see it
Shredder.
as a very
So,
likely outcome.
What do you do now?
You face.
You face and play Shredder and ping the bomb, right? Or ping the face.
Yeah, you ping the face. Like I don't even know. You could ping the bomb, I guess, if you wanted. But nice job, bomb. Ah, another
Very
good
ooze.
one. Another good one here. Whoa.
And he's tapping.
Kolento is very tap happy. After
Well,
the
he
first
knows that's a
fireball,
spare
there's no
part, so
point.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we know that Lifecoach wouldn't have won because he didn't have like
The fireball.
the
Yeah.
fireball draw. But if he gets the fireball now,
Wow.
he would have won.
He would have won the game. Yeah.
He would have won
This
the game.
would have been the game for Lifecoach if he'd gone for the one chance at lethal. I think the play he made, although it felt safe, was
It
not
was the
all
losing
in.
play.
It wasn't an all in enough.
It was the losing play because there's like Void Walkers, there's Elephant of Argus.
Yeah, yeah. The amount of taunts on the board will always stop your minions from doing what you
Yeah.
want at this point. The only way you won was through fireballs, and we knew that, right? Like it was pretty obvious, and I think even he did. It's just that he didn't feel safe leaving the board as it was.
Yeah. And now Elephant of Argus will just seal the deal.
Life tap still. In
Well,
before Power
after you
Blast.
saw
Yeah,
2
of course.
fireballs, like, whatever.
What do I care, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Archmage comes out and then Time Rewinder gets back
With
to
what?
the hand.
You need a like,
You send it back to your spare parts, to your hand. Just to hide it away. And that will be game number 3 for Kolento. Who's going to find the lethal right away. So Warlock versus Mage, again, you know, very, wouldn't say one-sided necessarily, but it's favored for the Warlock.
Yeah, but Lifecoach had a chance to win this
Yeah,
game.
it's,
Well, he was at 28 life, right? When there was a full board of Kolento, and Kolento was kind of forced to trade first.
He had to, because otherwise he was dead. Fireball.
So he was saving his damage like a lot, by a lot. and then in two
Turns.
two turns
Yeah.
after, he top decked the second fireball. So
He was really close to getting it, and there was no other way unless Kolento got nothing for 3 turns.
yeah,
Unless Kolento got nothing,
he had
and I'm talking
already
like
2 cards in his hand.
yeah, like there's no way Kolento is not gonna have something to play. So
Yeah.
Lifecoach, I think, making a slight misplay in this matchup. I say slight because when you're in the game, sometimes you just look at the board state, you try to trade, and you don't necessarily calculate like what your outs are. And at some point against Zoo as mech mage or a mid-range warlock,
Yeah.
you have to realize I have no outs.
Yep.
I have none.
If you're like counting on top decking a blast mage, you can count on top decking fireball. At the
Exactly,
same point.
as much, pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's, I think he could have taken this if he'd gone for the all-in. Statistically unlikely, but still the best chance he had.
Yeah, because you can also count on drawing Dr. Boom. That's the same chance as drawing the
Right,
fireball.
you could have also gone
Yeah. But
that much.
I guess fireball gets lethal, and Dr. Boom doesn't get you lethal.
Yeah.
So
Unfortunate for Lifecoach that I don't know if he realized at the end that he could have gotten the win with
I'm
Fireball.
sure
I'm pretty sure he
he's-
did.
yeah, I'm
He's usually
sure he's-
calculating and stuff.
he's aware of that.
But the second game is going to go to Kolento. He's going to be up 2-1 against Lifecoach in those finals. Lifecoach can still play Mech Mage, but he's going to have to go up against Priest now. And
Priest and
Warrior. You don't want to run into Warrior, and you don't want to run into Priest.
well,
So-
against Warrior, it's not essentially so bad.
Oh, it's actually like Rim Patron has a pretty good, a good
Well,
chance.
okay, no, scratch that. Never
Yeah,
mind.
we're not against Control Warrior,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
you get a good Snow Chugger and the game's
There's
over.
no brawls.
Lifecoach's Mech
Same
Mage
weapons, yeah.
could be the weak spot in his lineup at the moment. Kind of like Show's lineup, actually. Who also contained a mage who didn't
Yeah,
do
the
much.
mech mage seems to be lacking.
Yeah, it always did. Even during GVG, you could tell it was like, it felt like a bad zoo while you were playing it.
Yep.
But
you know why?
What?
It lacked the card draw.
Yeah, nothing.
It's like top decking mode every single turn.
Yeah.
Unless you play like one Ashdrake.
Yeah, you play one Drake in your deck. The moment you start making room for draw, you're like, why am I not playing Freeze Mage instead? It's just like Tempo
Yeah.
Mage is a good like in between, but
I guess
overall-
so. I guess so. Like, I feel I didn't play mech mage for like, I guess almost a month now.
Yeah, and I don't. When I see it, I'm not impressed.
Yeah.
I was impressed before Zoo was a thing, like again, and now that I see Zoo come back in, I feel like Mech Mage did its job for the time that it did it, and it was enabled by Mech Warper and Blast Mage, giving the mage the unfair cards, but I don't think they have the most unfair aggro cards anymore.
Yeah. Well, the only draw that can punish some players, I mean other players, is like double mech warper, open.
Like perfect opener, but that's
Yeah.
you could play Mech Warrior with
Yeah.
double Mech Warper, and you would probably still punish the
I
opponents,
feel just
right?
mech shaman is better at
Right.
doing that stuff than
Yeah,
mech
with Fell
mage.
Reaver now being rampant and
Yeah.
very viable.
Fell Reavers and Zapomatics.
Yeah.
The Pole Mace is
With you buff a Zapomatic to 5/4, it's not answered. Win the game.
Yo.
Even in the Neurotron, anything is
yeah.
just
That's
crazy.
a problem with mech mage. It lacks a weapon because the weapon maintains board control and it's like a 2-for-1.
So I think this is kind of the reason maybe why some of the versions that came out of Tempo, Stormer, and the Blingtron, right?
Yeah,
Blingtron
right.
was really good in Mech Mage for a while, but it got phased out by a lot of players.
It's like a card draw, which is always damage.
yeah, and it furthers your
sometimes it's
agenda.
like 1 damage, but
the opponent gets Gorehal, you
Yeah.
get the 1/4.
or a Doomhammer
Yeah. And then he's a druid and he's playing Spiteful Smith and you're forcing and then you freak out and you're like, what is this? And why am I playing against you? Your deck is so bad. Why are you winning? Oh man, this is like the most perfect thing. Alright, so Lifecoach is going to be moving on to his druid deck, it seems, which means against Priest and Warrior from Kolento, possibly. This is probably a good...
not bad.
It's not a bad one.
Yeah.
But still, in Conquest format, it comes down to that last deck. And if Mech Mage is the last deck, this is probably going to be very tough.
Yeah. We'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah. Do you think Kolento will queue up Priest or Warrior first?
I'm thinking about it. It's like, doesn't really make a difference, I would say.
Because he's going to be
As a
facing
priest.
either Druid, Warlock, okay. Either Druid, Mage, or Warrior. So Priest versus Druid. A matchup that we said Kolento, that was pretty bad for the priest, but Kolento every time he seems to play against the druid does pretty well. So I'm having to guess that he could pilot the deck to victory. But wild growth is the big thing. Like if Lifecoach finds wild growth, this is going to be...
If there will be a life growth.
Life growth confirmed!
If there will be a wild growth, it changes the dynamic of the whole.
Yeah,
Duel.
the Hearthstone doesn't make sense. Like once you start giving a player one extra mana crystal, you're like, oh, this game just doesn't make sense anymore. Like you can't even like comprehend. Everything about your temple plays is thrown off.
It's like you play a football match and one team has 12 players and the other one has 11.
Yeah, and one of them has a basketball. Like something just doesn't make sense on one side.
Oh, look,
all right,
double
getting to
innovate.
the game, we see double innervate in Lifecoach's hand. Which we said that before. This sometimes backfires when you go all in on a play and you have no card draw. Like if you don't have Ancient of Lore with a hand like this, you just
Would you keep double innovate in that situation?
the 4 attack minions that you get from it is just stupid.
It can be Dr. Boom, right?
Yeah, you could get Doctor 2 if he finds Dr. Boom off the top. I don't think you could even play it though. It doesn't make sense.
He goes with the Azure Drake.
Yeah.
So powerful against the priest, turn 1.
Kolento's face. Oh wait, what? I need to wake up now.
At least it's not Dr. Boom.
Yeah.
And you have the Wrath for the Pyromancer. Like with the card draw.
Yeah, it's perfect. You draw a card off the Drake. It's just perfect here for Lifecoach. But Kolento can't play anything. Oh wow.
Well, I guess you kinda...
Ah, you punch face.
Yeah, but what I wanted to say is like, I should have kept the innovates.
Yeah. Well, when you see Emperor, you think to yourself, I
Yeah.
could have gotten infinite innervate. The only weakness is that if you coin out like innervate, Emperor, Shadow or Death, your game plan is dead. You got 3 for 1, you have no follow up, and you're pretty much messed up for the rest of the game.
Okay, so this will be met with Rev for 2.
And Wrath for 2.
Coin hero power, I would say.
Yeah. Don't you just double Wrath for 2 for the sake of it? No, I think Coin Hero Power is better. Or
Well,
you
maybe-
can just Wrath
maybe
and
not,
keep turn
because
4 for...
It depends on the first Rev.
Yeah.
If the first Rev gets you a 4-drop, then you hero power. If it gets you a something else that is not usable next turn, then you Rev it.
I like keeping Coin for turn 5 though with the Druid of the Claw.
he didn't.
Yeah, with Druid of the Claw, like you're
14.
getting a really sick another curve. And the Priest has 0 ways to answer.
Okay, you're right. You're right with
Until
that.
he has Alkanized Circle, like right now, this is not going to be good.
I guess you're right. Yeah, it's more important to not gamble on getting a 4-drop.
Yeah, after you've lost 2 innervates, you have to play it very safe. Because it's the cheat card. If you've already used your 2 cheats, it's just a really big problem.
But now you can go Rev, draw, kill, or just ignore the board and you go
Yeah.
with.
I almost want to say ignore, but then again, I'm looking at this and that's really painful.
So you drop the Pelter Shredder, go face.
How often is that wrong when you have Coin Emperor?
The problem is the fact that there can be a Shadow
No,
Madness.
I don't like that. I think you have to go for the draw now with the Wrath.
So if Kolento sacrifices the Pyromancer into the Pelter Shredder and gets a 3-2 from that,
No, I like the Wrath play a lot more. Yeah, this is obviously the one best play. Oh,
swipe,
wow.
swipe Perino for 5 damage. This might be
Balance,
really,
yeah.
really important. Because now if Kolento plays Pyromancer, Fault Steel, Swipe will deal 5 damage to the face and kill the Pyromancer. So that's 9
It's
damage.
just going to be like leftover damage that takes care of the 3-2. So
Oh, right, never mind. The Pyromancer will be
it's crazy. It's just perfect.
Dr. Boom and Severer.
And Kolento is forced to play the Wild Pyro. I wonder if Lifecoach will be playing Coin Emperor Thorson or... Oh, wait. Yeah, I think you do that. Now they found combo, you can get your combo out very soon.
Yeah, if you play Emperor now, you can combo
2 turns from now, yeah.
2 turns from that. I guess...
I'd do it. Because then next turn you can just go to the Claw phase or Swipe phase. Like, pick your choice.
what about
Druid
Druid of the
phase
Claw
now,
phase
and
now?
then Emperor and then Curve combo. Yeah, you know what? That's even stronger. You hit 8th right now, if you wanted. Do you ever consider swiping right now instead of playing the druid? Maybe that's even better.
I was thinking like the swipe phase was my initial game.
Yeah,
game
actually,
plan.
I think it's the best one here. Like, I'm trying to go overboard with creativity, but just go like swipe face, hit for 9, then Savage War next turn win.
Yeah.
It's like the most boring play in the universe, but it's the most effective one. Like, what do I do? SM Orc.
I guess that's it. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, welcome to
just
Druid, ladies and gents.
You just lost to a double innovate Azure Drake in one.
The Drake does, what, like 17,000 damage now?
You know what? What's even funnier?
Not even mad. What?
That the Ogre Brute would have almost done the same.
Yeah? Ogre Brute would have probably done almost the same thing, aside from the fact that you didn't get the swipe for 5, but it would have been pretty close. So Lifecoach equalizing series 2-2 in the grand finals. This is actually possibly going to be a 4-3 in either player's favor.
Well, this was a really fast game.
Yeah,
it
Druid
took like 3 minutes.
Yeah, well, the other one with Druid as well, when Kolento got the wild growth. It went like, oh, Emperor, alright, let's play this. And that,
Emperor, bam!
yeah. I think Druid is the only class where you find Emperor and you just slam it.
Yeah.
Like, you
situations,
think
yeah.
about it in many classes, but Druid seems to be the one class where you know it's so unfair that you have it, that you just have to play it. Like, other classes, it's generally, like, they have very specific combos they want to get, but Druid is such an all-in every single time.
Especially when you have this whole combo in your hand.
Yeah, 7 mana, 14 damage. There's nothing to say about that.
Seems like an okay draw.
Yeah. So next match is going to be Warrior versus Warrior, both players playing their Grim Patrons.
The mirror matches are very interesting, unless someone gets a Emperor out.
I think
Then it's
Emperor-
kind of on
yeah.
one-sided.
It's like the same thing as Druid versus Druid when one gets a wild growth.
Yeah, similar.
That's how it feels because they're both going for the same game plan, and then one of them gets a discount on everything, and suddenly, oh well, my executes are free, my whirlwinds are free, my Warsong commanders cost me 2 mana, and then everything seems to just snowball out of control for that.
My
player.
inner rages are -1.
Yeah,
add
so
mana.
I get a coin.
Yeah.
What
For
is it?
free.
You know what's funny though is when I realized that Emperor actually doesn't, like, it reduces the cost of 0-cost spells to -1.
Because when they are more expensive, like with
Like,
Lotheb,
yeah, somebody plays
they're for
Lotheb.
4.
Like, once I had a preparation that, like, Emperor stayed 3 turns on the board, and he played Lotheb and my prep was 2, and I'm like, wait, this is a coin. I could actually play it. And it actually gave me mana on a spell. So when I realized that, I thought it was
Okay. That's
kind of
interesting. That's something you want to know.
yeah, if you ever run into the circumstance, of
Yeah.
course. But, yeah. So Warrior versus Warrior. Do you think the Warrior wins?
I guess the warrior wins. The red warrior.
Yeah, the Red Warrior wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The red Sonya.
There's no more blue anyway.
Well, there's blue on the Cloud9 logo, and there's kind of red-ish hue on Nicholas' logo.
Yeah. So what's the last match? We have Priest still on Kolento's side, right? Priest is going to have to go up against Mech Mage, at the very least. If Kolento wins with Warrior, Lifecoach is going to have to beat Priest with Mech Mage.
Not necessarily, right? He can
Kolento
queue up
beats
the
warrior.
mage against, like, if Lifecoach wins with the warrior now, then he can queue up
Mage
the
against
mage
warrior,
against the warrior.
Yeah, but if Kolento wins now, Lifecoach has to win with Mage.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's going to be really problematic, because Kolento plays very well when he plays Priest, and Mech Mage isn't really favored, so...
Especially when when it comes to a situation when Shadow Madness will net
Yeah.
you at 2 for 1.
Yeah, usually, and it
3
can
for 1,
deny
actually.
Mad Scientist. You can get so much value out of it. All right, getting to the game, we see that Kolento is playing the Unstable Ghoul version of
And he
Grim Patron
has
as
the
well.
coin,
Yeah,
which is really important.
One
in
extra
combo
card,
decks. And 1 extra
and
mana.
yeah, exactly, and 1 mana for combo.
It doesn't really matter if you have the turn first. Like, the coin makes the outcome almost even when it comes to that, and you have the 1 card draw more, which is way more valuable
For
because
combo,
it affects not only the fact that you have 1 more card, like in general, less in your deck. I mean, 1 less card in your deck, but also it alternates your game plan from the beginning of the game because you have more cards, so you know what you already
what's left,
have,
exactly.
and you know what to do because you have
more
crucial
information. You can
yeah.
tell the difference in the way you play when you're second, when you're playing
Yeah.
combo. I realized a lot of the time you'll be. It feels like that one extra card gives you. You can find, an Acolyte playing earlier.
Yeah.
It looks like it's one extra card, but it's much more than that
True.
in the way that it plays.
And there's an Emperor. Wow.
Well, Kolento here finding the Emperor Thorson very early, and you can bet he's not going to get punished for a little while.
Yeah. And now Lifecoach is a situation when he kept the Battle Rage, so he doesn't want to armor up.
Yeah.
There's in this matchup, no one plays a creature until turn 4.
Yeah. It takes a long time, so you want to get, your Fire War Axe into something to get one damage, just one.
Yeah.
But it's very unlikely to happen.
I guess you play the Fairy Works anyway.
Yeah, just get it out. You're going to get possibly a Corsair next turn. It's kind of a waste because you're losing it to a weapon.
Yeah. And in this situation, you didn't lose mana and you didn't gain armor for the Battle Rage, so that's okay.
Oh man, finds the Grim Patron. So, coin Emperor into 2 patrons.
That's insane.
If he finds a Warstone Commander in the meantime, this could get very nasty.
You don't want to play the Dread Corsair anyway.
No, I don't
There's
think he
no
plays
reason
this.
to play the Dread Corsair.
No, you're just feeding it to the weapon. And giving him Battle Rage value. I remember the day where Battle Rage was so useless that nobody really
I was
wanted to
playing
play
it. I am not hearing you. I was playing
Yeah,
Battle
but
Rage.
back in the Aggro Warrior days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those days are long gone. The Lifecoach is thinking, do I armor up?
I guess so.
Or do I armor up?
But well, that's the that's the awkward situation in this deck. If you armor up, you can't Battle Rage. So
You have to attack into something that has more than 2 attack. Reminds me of the question that people were asking when Hearthstone came out. They had no idea, but do you take damage from weapons that are on the opponent's side? Like the armed enemies? Do I take damage from them?
no, it's like represented by the
Yeah, the weapon
idea
being closed,
of
right?
being closed,
Yeah.
the weapon. Yeah. I bet there will be a weapon that will be open during your opponent's
The
turn.
shield, probably.
Might be.
Yeah, a good shield for warrior
Like
where
a
it deals.
thorn, like torn shield.
Yeah, Thorn Shield it reflects
Yeah.
damage or something. That would be really nice to see. It fits very nicely. Now Lifecoach gets the Acolyte out, but it's not really that big of a deal for the warrior because he draws as much as he can. Draw 1 card here, 1 card there is good enough, especially when you've got the Emperor like Kolento does. I think Lifecoach is going to be forced to play his Gnomish Inventor.
I think so. You have to play it.
Hmm.
You kill the Acolyte, you play the Knowledge Inventor. That's it.
He will need to find Emperor to contest this.
And now the problem is that he can't deal with the Gnomish Inventors. Like, okay, I have Fiery War Axe. Do I use the Unstable Ghoul right now? He has like... No, there's no way he can kill the Unstable Ghoul and play an Patron.
But yeah, he can play both.
Yeah. So that's not a big problem like I thought it would
I guess
be.
Kolento just plays Gnomish Inventor here, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
You just keep drawing until you can get turn 5 Emperor and just get a really solid... Or maybe you wait until you find the combo pieces you want to play. Before you play Emperor. Because that is literally the card that's going to seal the game for you.
Well, you have half of it.
Yeah, but you're missing... if you can get cheap Whirlwinds... I don't even know if he runs Inner Rages, so maybe those Whirlwinds will be even more important.
I like how you said cheap Whirlwinds when they are freed.
Yeah, but when they're 1 mana in Grim Patron, it's always expensive. It feels expensive sometimes.
That's the execute.
Oh man, 0 mana execute.
Feels strong. Strong. Sorry. I forgot the nerd language. Strong.
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 Yeah, strong.
Too strong.
Too strong. Too strong 5-me.
Yeah. And
Alright, same thing. I guess you just... Well, Death's Bite probably makes more sense with Dread.
yeah, Death's
And then-
Bite. Do you like Grim Patrons?
Do you even play Dread? I don't think so.
If you go into Death's Bite this turn, So you can draw multiple cards next turn
Yeah,
with Battle Rage and Acolyte of Pain, but they have to sacrifice the Death Spite.
yeah. I don't
And
think
it's
you want
not necessarily bad.
It's not bad because you can at least kill the Grim Patron.
Yeah,
I
and
mean
you have-
the Emperor that comes
You have
out.
the Whirlwind also.
No, I don't mind this. Lifecoach is just gonna hold on for a really good Battle Rage. And it might pay off. Now Kolento's got to be asking himself if he wants to play Emperor on this end, and my gut feeling is no, because he can get it, you know, off curve. On curve next turn instead, and keep the
might be
coin for
too
the combo.
important. Yeah.
It's gonna be just crazy, but.
Okay, never mind. He goes for it.
Alright, cheap patrons abound, but there's very little to do with this. He's gonna get himself a Grim Patron plus Taskmaster, and this is usually
You know what's funny?
hard to recover
The
from
fact
as a warrior.
that when you see a patron, Emperor, like on the board, you're not even thinking about what are the possibilities now. Because
Yeah,
there's
you just stop.
too many possibilities.
Yeah, it's too many. The combinations just go up way too high.
Oh, that's a good card, I would say. But still, you go first with the Battle Rage.
Maybe I trade my Gnomish away. Like slam the 5/5, trade away Gnomish, then attack face with Acolyte on board instead of Battle Raging.
It nets you only one card,
Only one card, yeah.
and you lose the charge from the durability. So if you get an execute,
So the thing is, you lose the 2/1 if you attack with Deathbite. So
no.
you have to start with Battle Rage, yeah.
Look at that. If you, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know, that's
Battle
it.
Rage first, you can get an execute, then you slam, right?
Yeah, no, you're right. It's a good play. It's definitely a good play.
Blood and
Okay, so he goes for the Battle Rage afterwards.
pain speak to me.
He will kill the Emperor in this situation.
Yeah. Which I think for him right now is good enough. He needs to find the
Or
combo
something. Let's see
right
if he
away.
would get the execute. Armor Smith. Acolyte, no, he wouldn't have it. He wouldn't have the execute. So okay.
Now Kolento, still no Warsong Commander in sight.
I feel you just drop the patron. Drop the patron.
Drop the Ghoul.
Drop the
Cruel
Taskmaster
Task, right?
and drop
Yeah.
the Ghoul.
Yeah, I think that's the play. It puts too much pressure on the opponent.
And there's no execute for the second patron, you know?
And this is the big weakness of, like, we were talking about this in Mirror Match. Whoever gets the first patrons usually takes the game because warriors have no more than 1 damage AoEs. And that's what they fuel on to win. So you can't really feed them any of that.
I don't think Lifecoach is a way out of this.
Charge minion, perhaps. Warsong Commander Patron next turn
Charge
could do the
minion?
job.
What do you want to do with that?
No, he could actually kill the Ghoul and then spawn his own Grim Patrons to counter the other Grim Patrons. It's like a hopeless chain of...
Yeah, but you die next turn, I would say. Like, it's...
So I think you have to slam the Grim Patron that's up there. That's already established.
What
The
about...
5/2, and then you get... You could go Frothing and then slam the other one. And hope that doesn't backfire too hard.
Yeah, that's also one of the plan.
Yeah, you can even, Fire War Axe the 3/3 on the far right. Frothing, slam the 5/2, Fire War Axe the Dread Corsair. And if he wants to spawn more 1/1s, then you could actually get it done yourself with the Grim Patrons afterwards. I think there's a way for Lifecoach to stabilize, but it's gonna take everything.
Well, next turn he can combo out
Yeah.
Patron, like
With the
really
War Song.
hard. Yeah. So he needs to live the next turn.
Alright, he's gonna go for the Grim Patron spawn. I'd be
Death
really surprised, but it's possible. Huh?
Attacking the Ghoul doesn't achieve anything.
Yeah, it actually makes things worse. Right now, it just makes things so much worse, it feels.
Oh, and he kills the... Yeah, that makes sense. Because you want the Ghouls... You want the Ghoul to be popped next turn.
Yeah, with your Grims.
Yeah, with your Grims now.
Kolento. Probably.
You can draw 2 cards. That's definitely not bad. Grommash and Execute. Execute is useless for now.
It's very good against other Grim Patrons because it's your best way to cleanly kill them, but yeah, it's Not exactly amazing, but he
So-
gets a huge damage burst here.
You go face, you don't play the Acolyte, and you play the weapon and go face.
Yeah. You just put as much pressure, you're gonna win with Grom anyway, so.
Yeah.
Lifecoach, under the gun. Can he win
Wait.
with the frothing? Can he win with a frothing Berserker here?
How much damage is that?
Warsong, Cruel Task, frothing.
That's
He may have
4,
calculated it, I don't know.
5, 6, 12.
I think he has it.
That's lethal, right?
Yeah, with the extra whirlwind.
Wow, that's
and the
so
ghoul.
insane.
What a crazy.
That's so insane. That's lethal. That's 3 whirlwinds effects. And Kolento, look at Kolento's face. He's
Yeah.
like, oh,
The
damn.
ghoul has been his downfall.
This is why I dislike the ghouls in mirror match. It's like awful.
Yeah, you give your opponent what he needs. As I said,
Yeah.
like we said that earlier, it's the biggest liability in mirror matches. And we're proven right in this specific case where Lifecoach gets the steal, or what feels like a steal of a
just
win.
like it was. Without, if there wouldn't be the ghoul on board,
Yeah.
there's no chance he would have won.
No chance at all. So Lifecoach's setup for the frothing.
25 damage.
Oh
Bam.
man, this Berserker is frothing. Lifecoach is casually sipping on espresso like nothing
Yeah.
ever happened. Just a
Wow.
very casual win, right? I mean, welcome to Grim Patient Warrior. If you can't get in here, then I guess it's time for a little blood.
I guess people have to adjust for the mirror matches.
This, like, the ghoul doesn't achieve much against
It
Zoo,
doesn't
not
achieve
enough.
anything.
And it's worse for mirror match.
Yeah. It's only usable when you have charge.
Yeah, it's the best time. It's the only time, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't really been able. I guess against Face Hunter, we've mentioned that is good, but that's like the one matchup where
And
it
you're
shines.
already good.
Yeah, with
Already
whirlwinds.
good against Face Hunter, so it's not so needed
Yeah.
in that matchup. And against Zoo, it's not needed at all, I would say. It's like
Right. Yeah.
whatever, right? So I guess it's the one card that you simply just cut away from the list.
Yeah, you might be able to try to find suitable replacement. I think it's a really like debatable flex spot for Warrior.
Yeah.
Now, Mage versus Priest is going to be coming up next. It's going to be the Mech Mage from Lifecoach versus the Priest from Kolento. We know the Priest is generally favored, so I would venture to say Priest is going to take it. But Mage
we
is
have
also
Mage against
Warrior.
Passion.
Yeah, if somehow Lifecoach wins, he seals it.
Well,
He takes the match, and if he loses versus Priest, as is typically common, because Kolento is a really strong Priest player. If Kolento wins, then it's going to come down to Grim Patient Warrior versus Mech Mage, and that
Thank
is
you, Captain
just,
Obvious. It's
what?
like, if Lifecoach wins this game, he wins the match. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, well, the game. There's a difference between game and match, right? Game, point, and match.
It's already 3 a.m., right?
3 a.m. probably. I mean, I can't even.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't even want to check it. Like, you know,
What is sleep?
we cast for 8 hours, I think now.
I haven't really taken a break, and yeah, I have to say it's been a few hours, and I've been awake since like 8 a.m. So I'm literally going around the clock right now, and you can probably tell from the casting. No problem though. You'll forgive us. I'm sure you will forgive us.
So this might be the last game of the match.
It could be, yeah. If Kolento doesn't get his early, like, the ability to counter the snowball effect of Mech, because
But
we
yes.
complain up against Mech Mage about how it's it's worse than Zoo, and it may be all that. But once it has a foothold on the board, if you can't just take it away, there's no way you're gonna win. Like the damage output per turn is just crazy good.
Yeah. If Kolento lacks the early game cards.
Yeah, he's got so many though. He's got Shadow Madness.
Yeah.
He plays Shadow Word Pain, double Wild Pyro, Shrinkmeister as well for the combinations. So.
But this time, Lifecoach has the coin. And this is also important. Like, when you
Right.
play Mech Mage, you kind of want to get the coin.
Mech Warper makes that a lot better.
Yeah.
Even. All right, so 2 Snow Chuggers. Okay, that's pretty.
I guess you...
I think you keep Circle for Alkanai. You just want that as Kolento.
Yeah. As Lifecoach, I would say you only keep the Snow Chugger.
How often do you throw Dr. Boom and Spider Tank back? Pretty much every
Dr.
time.
Boom always, but Spider
is-
Tank.
It kills the Northshires. It
Oh yeah, that's a
survives
good
Wild
point.
Pyros.
Yeah, that's a
it's-
good point.
It dies to Injured Blade Master though. Which is a big
I have no
deal.
idea if Lifecoach threw that back. Like it looked like he would throw that back, but I'm not sure. But he has a Cop Master, turn 1, which is really a great help.
Yeah. There's no Holy Smite in Kolento's list. As far as we've seen, I haven't seen one yet.
Yep.
A very popular card to put in Priest on ladder, but not right here.
What to
Well, I
do?
guess you have to go for it, right?
What feels awful is you really want to get an amazing coin turn, and it's going to mean that your coin is going to have to be a Blast Mage on turn 3. Most of the time, that's how you look at it.
Shrink Master is not bad.
That's a good way to counter the early game.
Yeah, just trade.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a better coin play. If he wants to go for that. Do you play Spider Tank or you just go for Snow Chugger?
I think you play Snow Chugger to trade.
Yeah, I think I like that a bit better because every other play you have is going to make your turn 4 a lot weaker.
You can't allow Priest to have an option to buff his creature with Power Shield, an example, right?
Yeah, of course. You have to trade. That's pretty obvious.
But I kind of fear that Lifecoach will go face now.
No.
He's
no way.
contemplating too much. Like, I've seen that before.
What to
It's
do?
like, we actually cast that game when Lifecoach was really punished by not trading. But he plays now.
Yeah. There's a few games that, like, a lot of people make the mistake sometimes of not necessarily evaluating well. And I think a lot of players, the way you pinpoint how good they are at the game is when they make those decisions. How well they actually decide to trade at times that otherwise would seem like they're not worth it.
So now you can play around Shadow Madness.
Yeah, I guess you've got the answers.
So I guess you would play the Palette Shredder, right?
I think that's probably the best option. The only way for it to really get punished is Shrinkmeister Cabal much later on, and you've already seen one shrink.
If you play the Spider Tank and then there's the Shadow Madness, you lose the you lose the Snow Chugger, and your Spider Tank is being frozen for 2 turns.
Yeah. Do you lose that much though? Is that big of a deal?
I think so.
It puts it in Nova range, so yes, it is a big deal, I guess. But it passes the turn from Kolento, gives you back the initiative again. Uh-oh.
Oops.
Yeah, indeed.
I still think you Shadow Madness this.
Yeah.
Twin form might be too good for the Mech Mage to ping a 3/1 creature. That's like most of the time it's the perfect.
Yeah,
perfect
it's just a
turn.
perfect time. 2 drop plus that. And there goes the freeze. It's gonna stall a little bit until he wants to get the Akanai clear. That circle of healing with Akanai is the most important clear in the priest deck.
Yeah, now we drop just the Palette Shredder and pass the turn. There's nothing else, I would say. And for Kolento, it doesn't look great either, because if...
I like his hand though. He's got Sylvanas into Dr. Boom. Like these hands really...
Why would you play that instead of Palette Shredder?
Uh-oh, the overextension is going to be really heavily punished here. He's going to even be able to get the Power Word Shield on the Akanai.
Yep.
Wow, that is going to stop a Mech Mage dead in his tracks.
That looks like a game for me.
Well, it's not quite over. I mean, there's always a possibility. But at 28 health, this is going to be an uphill battle for Lifecoach at this point.
Now he has to Frostbolt it and play Mad Scientist. Then next turn is Sylvanas, and you have no out on that.
Yeah, you have to trade away into Manatee, but you're not going to be fed too much. I thought Lifecoach's play would be a bit slower. I thought he would play 1 Shredder, then pass turn. And,
Yeah, that would be my play too.
Yeah.
Like if he keeps the coin so long, I would say you keep it for the Antonidas or for Boom Dr.
Yeah.
Dr. Boom.
Against a priest, I think Antonidas is the best time to play it. There's very few other times where you get really good value out of it. At best, you get a slight tempo advantage, but not a massive one.
Yep.
Antonidas is the way to win.
Second Power Word Shield? Nah, you just play the Sylvanas and go face.
You heal your Akanai, obviously.
Nice move, bro.
I play Hearthstone. Actually, you could buff it up with Power Shield and ping after what comes out of it. But that's like a complete... You might as well play Sylvanas, right? Yeah, that's probably the better play. And Kolento disagrees.
Okay, that's interesting. So he wants to trade.
Probably. And then he'll...
Oh, wow. That's a huge whiff.
Yeah, Lifecoach with the worst possible card. Almost.
And back-to-back Mad Scientist.
Yeah.
Not good at all. And he lacks the mech.
No mech for Blast Mage. Mad Scientist will give one more entity, probably not enough to really be useful. Now Lifecoach throwing away a Frostbolt. It's gonna get negated immediately. And Kolento instantly playing Dr. Boom.
I don't blame him at all.
Playing Dr. Boom?
Yeah, well, at least the Ancient Watcher might eat the bombs.
Yeah. I guess it's actually, like, it's not the absolute worst card then. There must be something good about it if it can eat out Boom Boss.
Well, I would say the...
I think the reason
Captain's
why he
Parrot
played
is
it
worse.
like... yeah, Captain's Parrot would be worse.
Novice Engineer.
Yeah,
worse.
they draw no cards, just a 1/1.
Yeah.
The reason why he's playing Dr. Boom here is not so much, I think, for the value of the Boom Bots, as much as it is for just having the board pressure.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
And Lifecoach with the disbelieving smile on his face.
Okay,
Like, I could not account for that, even if I tried.
Like, let's be honest here. The game looked grim for Lifecoach.
Now it's dead.
Now it's
Yeah, like it looked pretty awful, right? Going into the matchup, we didn't have high hopes.
Yeah.
And then it followed through. We had really bad start.
The Ancient Watcher happened. The
Ancient
bomb
Watcher
would fall
happened.
today.
Boom Bots.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, I mean, esports, right? Esports.
yeah, definitely.
Someone injured?
Oh wow, no Shark Cleric.
Oh wow, you're like so disappointed. Free. Oh god.
All right, so let's just give him one to take it away. And thank you, says Kolento here.
Lifecoach is like, ja.
Good Boom Bots.
Na ja, das passiert. Manchmal das passiert.
Oh man. I don't speak a word of German, but I'm sure the chat understood some of that.
I guess you like know few words, but those are banned in Germany.
Okay. Well, Lifecoach just conceded and is going to save himself and Kolento some time. Equalizing 3-3 for Kolento here.
Last game.
The very last game of the entire KPL. This will come down to this. We know the last matchup, Mech Mage versus Grim Patron Warrior.
Yeah.
We've seen this earlier. It seems to be favored for the Grim Patron Warrior, but by how much of a margin, I couldn't tell you.
It depends a few factors, of course. Like, first of all, if there's an Emperor,
Yeah, in the hand.
and
That always matters.
if there will be weapons for the first creatures. An example, if Kolento will not have Fear Warx
Right.
or coin Deathspite, then he could just be stopped in his tracks.
Snow
by a
Chugger
single
alone.
Snow Chugger.
Yeah.
Single Snow Chugger would just be like, bam! You stand here, bro. You stand here.
Chugga. And you can't actually go through at all. There's no way you
Yeah.
can get the damage in.
And then you have, you play like your Acolyte of Pain, and you have to use Taskmaster to trade for the Chugga.
Yeah,
right?
and then you lose the Acolyte. You draw cards, but you're still very
there's-
far behind. The Temple's
I think
lost.
there's
Yeah.
almost no option that Lifecoach will allow for that trade.
Yeah, it's a really problematic. And I think Grim Patron has only the executes to really do anything. To kill like a Snow Chugger that's been damaged. They have no shield slams. That's the biggest drawback. Now they
Yeah.
do play slams now, so they do have at least Slam Whirlwind.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see how consistent it is. I still don't have enough experience because since Grim Patron came about, Zoo was everywhere.
Yeah.
And I know against Zoo it's typically okay, but how is it against Mech Mage, which is weaker than Zoo?
It's
I
the
think,
same. Like,
it must
my
feel the
guess
same
is
way.
no Fear Warx, no Patron Widex.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a bad pun. Never
yeah,
mind.
the Patron Bite.
Yeah.
Death Patron. I think Patron relies heavily around Death Bite, and Warrior can take out Blast Mage, Spider Tank, name it. That's what carries it.
There's the Fear Warx. But there's
All right.
another Tron.
And there is another Tron for Lifecoach, and he plays Pilot Sky Golems.
Yeah, he loves that card.
That's pretty cool. Can't say I've seen much of it in Mech Mage recently. It seems to be more aggressive than slow.
I think I still have piloted Sky Golems miniatures in my house, like from the World of Warcraft miniature game.
Okay.
That was like a board game,
Okay.
collectible.
I
board
don't
game.
remember. I don't even know.
Really
that.
cool one. Really cool one. Mechanics of that were really cool because they reflected on like a time mechanic. Like you actually spend time forecasting
Like
spells.
in-game time. Okay,
Yeah.
I get that. That's pretty nice.
Mechanics were really innovative. Like I liked it a lot. The figurines were kind of crappy when it comes to quality, but
Yeah, welcome to cheap games. Now, Lifecoach is going to throw everything but the Anotron, right? Like, there's no reason to keep Premier Entity and Pilot Sky Golem. You want Mad Scientist and probably Mech Warper.
I guess
Or
that
Clockwork
Kolento's
Gnome.
start is really great.
Yeah, Kolento's start here again. I mean, I was talking about that with someone earlier. He is drawing super well in this league, in the playoffs so far.
And he throwed out the Anotron.
I'm actually surprised against a Warrior. That is your best bet.
Yeah. I would say
Although it
so.
does play into Armor Smith and probably Acolyte of Pain, so maybe that's not what he wants to do.
No, but still against the weapons, that's like your best bet anyway. So now you have to drop Mech Warper into Clockwork Gnome, right?
So you're losing the Mech Warper, you have no card draw against the Fire War Axe. I mean, what's the choice?
You have
You have to do it. Just try to get damage in as fast
Like
as you can.
if you don't play anything,
Yeah.
you don't get damage in.
Yeah, this is just going to be problematic.
And at least you will get, well,
You get
the
a
fact
spare
that
part, right?
the Taskmaster will just seal the deal.
There was a chance. Although, if the Spider Tank comes out, Kolento then doesn't have an answer to it. Like, if Spider Tank follows up and then there's a good cure from Lifecoach and Kolento whiffs a bit, I think Lifecoach could still get it, but it's going to be really problematic.
When you think about this, like, Lifecoach just will lose 2 cards to half of a card, right?
Yeah.
Each time.
Yeah, pretty much.
How can he?
He
keep up?
just plays the Clockwork. Doesn't want to overextend into the axe. So he's going to try to probe for the Cruel Task.
I don't like this, to be honest. Like, what's the tin free? You play Spider Tank naked,
Yeah,
right?
and you lose it to
And you
Cruel
lose it to
Task.
Taskmaster and Warwick. So it's kind of worse than playing Mech Warper and Clockwork Gnome. Because then
Unless Kolento trades the War Axe away, but I would be
don't
surprised
think
against
so.
Meg.
There's
against
no
Meg.
way. You build the board with well, actually, maybe he will play the
Armor Smith and trades.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know that better is the Taskmaster, but on paper it might seems to that the Armor Smith would be better. I'm not sure. It's late.
The armor is actually not too bad to stack. It's just that you have very limited armor generation at this point.
Yeah, I think the Taskmaster is way better.
Yeah, against Mech Mage, you want to have a board. You want to be able to kill off the Anotrons with something.
Yeah.
And without that, you're not going to go anywhere.
So now you lose the Spider Tank.
It's fine. Oh,
wow.
goodness. Well,
Floating
that's,
Berserker.
I think I'm just putting that down right here.
Yeah, you
Yep.
do. It's like such a big threat. I guess that's like the only option.
I don't see why you wouldn't play it. Like, you're getting a 5-4, you're forcing a Frostbolt ping, which lets you play Armor Smith or Acolyte of Pain on the follow-up. If things go wrong. Like, Frostbolt ping is the worst case scenario.
Yeah, 3 mana 5/4 seems like a good card.
Yeah, and now, I guess, Lifecoach is forced in a weird spot where Emergency Coolant is the only...
Only out.
Yeah, the only real
So-
answer, but you're so weak to Death's Bite, you're so weak to another weapon.
And you don't want to play Mirror Entity.
Alright, he's just gonna play 2 minions and hope that he can actually finish the job off with a ping. He would be right, but not this time. The Acolyte of Pain will probably see the day.
That is such a bad situation for Lifecoach. Like nothing works this way.
The card draw, the lack of card draw is really punishing him.
Yeah.
You can tell from the way this Make a Mage game is going, the card draw is a really big issue.
So now he has to kill the Acolyte of Pain. You just have to ignore the Floating Berserker for a while. You drop the Mad Scientist and the Tinkertown Technician.
And you trade with the Acolyte
And
and
you trade
hope,
with the Acolyte.
you hope for the best for your followers.
You have to build the board.
And hope you can get it to stick somehow.
Yeah, it's something just to stick around. To deal the damage, to pile it up.
Yeah. Pile on!
We know it will be hard. There's like an execute.
Yeah, there's so many good, like, he hasn't even drawn with Acolyte yet. This is just the beginning.
Oh yeah, right.
He still has the Acolyte, he's got the Emperor as a backup. Any weapon that comes out will ruin Lifecoach's plan. Every step of the way, Lifecoach will have it difficult here.
True.
That's a really rough last game to get into. Mech Mage seems to be a really weak spot with, we saw Show struggle with it. And now Lifecoach seems to be in the same boat.
Stealth. That's not bad.
That's actually not bad at all. Could Archmage carry this? Or is it going to be too late? Uh-oh.
Wait a minute. Does it change anything? Not yet. Death Spite. Well, that's quite a draw.
Yeah, that is quite a problem, to say the least. Death Bite Execute, no, you can't.
Why
Death
not?
Bite Dread Corsair Execute is so disgusting.
Yeah, you
This is
use
so
execute.
disgusting.
You clear the board.
Oh, goodness.
And
Oh,
There's
Kolento with the weapons.
that's such a huge tempo play.
And now Lifecoach is like, oh, I had to leave that Frothing alive.
Frostbolt? Nope.
Yeah, not the Frostbolt he was looking for. He's got the Coolant, but that's not enough.
So Coolant, the Floating Berserker.
And then ping it to force the...
Ping the
Uh,
I would say the pirates because
I would ping the Frothing and attack into the pirate, the Mad Scientist, and then let him try the Death Bite.
What to do?
Death Bite's gonna fail miserably either way. I mean, otherwise, don't you just...
no, I think you have to ping the pirate. You ping the pirate.
Yeah, but when do you kill the Frothing? I would ping Frothing, then attack pirate with Mad Scientist, then Coolant the Frothing, and finish it off next turn to make sure you don't die right away. As bad as it is, you can at least play Mere Entity on the back of that. If you're playing more than just Mere Entity. And he obviously doesn't.
Armor Smith will come down.
Yeah, probably.
Second Death Spite. Not very useful right now.
I mean, you almost don't want to proc the...
The first Death Spite?
Yeah, because then your Frothing dies. Maybe you just play Emperor, let him trade.
But there's Mirror Entity.
Yeah, it's such a pain because you have to play around Mere Entity. So Armor Smith, attack the Yeti, and then trade into... Frothing's gonna do nothing, almost. There's still a chance that Lifecoach gets this. If he gets, like, Dr. Boom on curve next turn, this could be the card that turns it around. Like, a good Dr. Boom here with the possible Archmage backend on the back end.
I don't feel like attacking into Armor Smith does achieve that.
Well, what it does is that your Death Bite won't kill your 3-1.
Well, your Dr. Boom draw will not achieve anything because you have to ping the
Frothing, yeah, so you don't die.
Because that's like 19 damage.
So what does he need, actually? There's got to be one thing that helps.
Oh!
And the now unremovable
That's like
Frothing
an
Berserker.
immovable object.
The unstoppable force.
Yeah, that was actually items from World of Warcraft 2.
Yeah, I remember back in Alterac Valley, you could fight. You had like a shield that was called
Hammer and a
immovable.
shield, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the name. And
And there's nothing you can do about that Floating Berserker now.
I mean, you can ping it to help, but
Oh yeah, sure, that helps.
if you could reversing switch it, it would be great. But
Yeah, but you lack the reversing switch.
Now Kolento, he's like, this deck is ridiculous.
He draws all the weapons. All
of them, yeah. He needed exactly weapons to do really well against mech. And this is exactly what he wanted. Those give him the early game that he wants, allows him to remove the minions that the mech mage is trying to set down for tempo purposes. And now, the possible only way the Lifecoach wins is if Archmage comes down with Finicky Cloakfield.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only thing I can see here for him.
Nope. That's gonna happen.
Not it. Snow Trigger stealth? No, you can't afford stealthing this.
Colento's dying from laughter.
I wonder why.
Like, because of the frauding, like 119? Who saw that coming? I definitely didn't.
It's like the super gold shard footman. It's like a super warbot. Little warbot guy.
With enrage single
Yeah,
time.
exactly. It's like
Every single time.
Yeah.
From each creature.
Of course.
Super enrage.
Super rage.
Super troll. Trolling is a art.
Yeah. Trolling is an art.
A art.
A art, of course. It's like trollception right there.
So you ping the face and you do nothing?
That sounds like an amazing line of play.
Well, you have to draw the Antonidas, otherwise you won't win.
Yeah. But even if you do, I don't even know if you... I mean, it's the only out.
Yeah.
So you have to take it. Although, does he win next turn anyway? He's gonna go for the Finicky Cloakfield and a Chugger. The little Chugger that could. The little Chugger that could. I don't think it can, but... He's the last hope.
Oh, look.
Another amazing card for Kolento.
Yeah.
Oh, this is getting completely
so you
absurd.
mirror entity on that, then you play Emperor, and then you attack face.
And then you Whirlwind.
And then you Whirlwind, and you have 5
1,000
plus
armor.
5, so that's 10. That's lethal.
Probably.
Wait, 4 plus...
But the Corsair has taunt, don't forget.
Yeah, I'm counting the damage. That's 4 minions, 5 minions, 6 minions, that's 12, so you have lethal. That's exactly 18.
With the taunt?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. I'm like, you know,
Sorry,
Corsair has
sorry,
the taunt.
yeah.
That's a big deal. Sorry that happened.
Hello.
They're both exchanging really polite words. Very well-mannered players. Well, that's gonna be it for the grand finals. Lifecoach is gonna fall down with his mech mage, a weak spot in his lineup.
Yeah, definitely.
Lost to Warlock, lost to Priest, lost to Warrior. 3 decks back to back.